Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bill. This is Kevin McNew. Today is the 10th. We had a WASDE report out today, and we look at corn, soybeans, and wheat, kind of a mixed trade. Corn trading up 2 cents, soybeans down 12 1/4, and wheat in Chicago trading up 4 3/4 cents. Kevin, when we look at the corn numbers from this WASDE report, was it supportive? Do you think we should be going higher from those numbers?
Well, let's talk about the numbers first of all. Right after the report came out, there was a really positive reaction. We got it up as high as 12 cents on the beast corn contract, but that trade didn't last. We quickly sold off from there. We hovered around 5 to 4 cents higher on the day and settled the day at 2 cents higher. So all in all, the market really didn't buy into this report too much. They did cut ending stocks by USDA. They did come in lower than expectations. So we're just a hair above 2 billion bushels of ending stocks in the U.S. That was a result of lower yields, which trimmed production. But all in all, I just don't think this is a game changer. I think we continue to see some selling pressure at where we're at right now based on pretty plentiful stockpile situation and sort of mediocre exports that we've been seeing of late.
Absolutely. When you look at the actual yield compared to what the market was expecting, we came in about 1.8 bushels per acre below analyst expectations. And I think, we saw that reaction early on. And when you look at the daily chart, look at how high we were able to go today. That's the bar on the farthest right of the chart. That was today's price action. We were able to trade higher, but we weren't able to hang in there. I really think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, we may have reduced ending stocks, but when you look at it, we still have a lot of ending stocks here.
Yeah.
This rally, I think, may not necessarily be sustainable at the rate that we've been seeing, and it makes me a little bit concerned here for producers.
Yeah.
Definitely should be doing something.
I think it really lacks conviction. We saw it today. Positive numbers and not hugely positive, but still positive, and the market couldn't hold those gains. I think it just lacks conviction to the upside right now.
Absolutely, and let's just turn our attention over here to soybeans. You can see that we did get yield improved here, but not as much as analysts were expecting. We came in a little bit lower than analysts were expecting, coming in here at 47.5 bushels per acre. Analysts somewhere around 47.6, what they'd like to see. That's not a big deal. Obviously the production was improved, but we did see demand revisions higher here. We saw exports and crush both improved here. That actually counteracted a lot of that increased production. Ending stocks remain the same. That was not what the analysts were expecting, and as a result of that, we saw some pretty hard selling pressure here going into the close. Now, it wasn't huge selling pressure, but when you look at the trade going into this report, we were up there around 1060 earlier this morning. That was up near previous highs. Now we're closing on the low side of the day's trading range, below the 100-day moving average after just double topping up here. I'm a little bit concerned about this soybean market. I would say if you're a producer out there, you need to make darn sure that you're protected if this thing starts rolling back over. We certainly have big production out there.
Yeah, and when you look at sort of South America's situation, we got a lot of news out of South America that the rains were good over the weekend, especially in Brazil and the Mato Grosso region. The rains are going to persist and possibly move to the north. So doesn't seem like there's any alarming effects going on in South America right now to keep this market sort of fueling to the upside.
Absolutely. Now, when we look at wheat here, we'll just talk a little bit about ending stocks. Kevin, what do you think made wheat move a little bit higher here this afternoon?
Well, we had kind of a mixed bag here. We had the U.S. actually lower their ending stocks as a result of a slight decrease in U.S. yield, but ending stocks on the world were actually higher. I think the wheat market was just kind of shrugging it off a little bit. We did trade a little bit higher here at the end of the day, but I think the wheat market just continues to be hampered by global gluts of wheat in the world market.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair to say. And when you look at the chart here, we're looking at the December daily chart. This is a candlestick chart, and you can see this is really the relatively weak grain here in the grain complex. You can see we went up to that 100-day moving average. We touched on it in the beginning of November. Now we're bouncing, we moved lower. We haven't been consolidating around that 100-day moving average like corn and like soybeans have been doing. So I am a little bit concerned. Maybe we get a little bit of bump in the next couple days here for wheat, but I would say you got to be still aggressive here at protecting the downside price risk when it comes to wheat as well.
And we saw Russia, again, getting favorable rains. You know, they've been dry, they've been extremely cold as the crop went into dormancy, but both of those conditions reversed themselves in the last week. And so, you know, wetter weather, warmer weather has alleviated some of those fears that we had 2 to 3 weeks ago that started this rally. Problems in Russia.
Absolutely. And we have crop production coming out at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time today. We'll talk about that in the morning commentary tomorrow and whether or not that came in within analyst expectations. Other than that, guys, that wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about, please give us a call. Number is 877-472-4607. One last thing before we go. If you haven't taken a look at the mobile trading app, you really should give it a shot here. The nice thing is when you're out and about, when you're in the combine, in the cab, you can view those live quotes, and you can even watch your account summary live. If you need to make a trade, you can do that as well. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here on Tuesday.